my name's Alice Carruth and I'm the Public Relations Coordinator for the New Mexico Spaceport Authority, the agency that manages the operations out of Spaceport America. And today I wanted to talk to you about the book Miguel and Michelle Visit Spaceport America by Loretta Hall and illustrated by Jennifer Hall. Miss Lovato said we're going to visit a spaceport today, Michelle said. I wonder what a spaceport is. It's where creatures from outer space land when they come to Earth, Miguel suggested. I can't wait to see them. I'm sorry, Miguel, Miss Lovato said. Spaceport America is where people fly into space or send rockets full of experiments to space. You won't see any aliens today. Rats, said Miguel. Is this where the spaceport is? Miguel asked. Do they send rockets to space from downtown? No, Miss Lovato answered. Class, you can all look around inside the visitors centre until the other bus comes to take us to the spaceport. Inside the building, Miguel and Michelle rushed to a model of a spaceship. I'll take the controls, Michelle said. Where do you want to go? Astronaut Miguel here, he announced from inside the spaceship. Start the countdown and send me to Mars. Wow, a bus with TVs on, Michelle said as she and Miguel took their seats. I want to watch Star Wars, Miguel said, pretending to wave a lightsaber. We don't have movies like that, the tour guide explained, but we will show you videos about the dinosaurs that used to live here, the Indians who have lived here for thousands of years, and the Spanish colonists who came here hundreds of years ago. What does all of that have to do with spaceports? Michelle asked. The videos show how much things have changed over many years, the tour guide answered. They will also tell you about the people who came to this part of New Mexico less than 100 years ago to develop rockets powerful enough for space travel. Miguel stretched out his arms into the air. Blast me off! Are we there yet? Yawned Miguel. We've been through hills and flat land and we're still driving. Yes, we're in the middle of nowhere, agreed Michelle. I knew the spaceport couldn't be in town, but why is it so far out here? Spaceships and rockets need lots of empty space to fly in, the tour guide said, and there's plenty of empty space out here. You said spaceships and rockets, Michelle said. What's the difference? It's not quite this simple, the tour guide admitted. I can say spaceship to mean a vehicle that carries people to space. And I say rocket for a vehicle that just carries experiments above the Earth's atmosphere. Both can be launched at Spaceport America. Okay, everybody, we're turning into the spaceport now, Miss Lovato announced. Pay attention. What's that? Michelle asked. Miguel's eyes widened. It looks like a killer skateboard ramp. It's a sculpture, the tour guide explained. Its name Genesis means beginning, and this spaceport is the beginning of a new era of space travel. It looks like giant arms reaching up trying to touch the moon or stars, Michelle said, stretching her arms in a wide arc. The bus drove around the sculpture and then stopped at a small square building. A guard came out and talked to the bus driver. Why is there a guard? Michelle wondered. There is lots of expensive equipment here, Miss Lovato explained. The guards make sure no one damages it or tries to steal it. And they make sure people have permission to come into the spaceport, the tour guide added. You can only come here if you have a ticket for a space flight, or if you're on a tour like this one. The bus left the guard station and turned east, driving towards a low building with a curved roof that seemed to flow out of the ground. That's the spaceport's terminal hangar building, the tour guide said, or the gateway to space as we know it. It looks like a stingray I saw in the aquarium, Miguel said. I think it looks like a butterfly settling down on the ground, Michelle said. Why is it so short? On the way here, we crossed El Camino Real, the trail used by Spanish settlers coming into New Mexico 400 years ago, the tour guide explained. The people who built the spaceport agreed to make the building blend into the ground so people visiting El Camino Real would see the land the same way that the old settlers did. As they got closer to the building, the bus had to stop and wait for a large gate to be opened. "Why is there a fence after the guard station?" Miguel asked. "Yes," Michelle joined in. "Didn't they already make sure it was okay for us to come in?" "This fence is to keep animals like coyotes and javelina from running around onto the runway," the tour guide said. "The fence is tall enough so deer can't jump over it." The bus passed through the gate and stopped near the low building, and everybody got out. They walked up the gently rising ramp between tall walls in the middle of the building. "It's like walking in a tunnel without a roof," Miguel said, looking at the rust-coloured walls. "The building looked so low it didn't think these walls would be so high," Michelle said. Up ahead, the tour guide was opening the door. "Come in, children. Welcome to Spaceport America." "Look at all the video games," Miguel exclaimed. Why do you have video games here?" Michelle asked. "They help visitors learn about space travel," Miss Lovato explained. "Remember the lesson we've been doing at school to get ready for this field trip? These games let you use what you learned about the things like spaceships having to move out of the way of space junk or asteroids." Miguel ran to one of the games. "I'm going to play Mission Control. I'll help astronauts figure out how to handle an emergency on their spaceship." Michelle walked in the other direction and saw a glass case with Indian pottery in it. The case also held a chunk of rock with designs on it. "What are these, Miss Lovato?" "Those pots were made by the Hornada Mogollon people who lived in this area more than 700 years ago. One of them has a bird painted on it, and the other one has outlined crosses. Scientists think that designs might represent the planet Venus, which is often called the morning star or the evening star because it looks so bright." Michelle looked at the large rock in the case. "The designs on this rock are crosses too, and the dots around them might be the other stars around the evening star. The Indians must have looked at the sky a lot." "Wow, look at this!" Miguel had finished his video game and went to look through a large window into another part of the building. "There's some kind of aeroplane down there." "That's actually a spaceship," the tour guide said. "It's called Spaceship 2. People will be able to ride on it to the edge of space from this spaceport." Michelle came over and looked through the window. "It doesn't look like a spaceship. How will it get to space?" "Come over here," Miss Lovato called from across the room. "Here's a video that will show you how it works." The video ended with Spaceship 2 landing on the Spaceport America runway, and Miguel turned to Michelle. "That was awesome." "I want to go for a ride in that," Michelle replied. Just then, Miss Lovato made an announcement. "Everyone come to the door. We're going to get back on the bus and go and see another building." As the bus drove round the side of the terminal and hangar building, Michelle saw another smaller building. "That looks like a turtle with one eye." "No, it's the helmet of a one-eyed alien," Miguel said. "He's almost completely buried in the sand." The tour guide chuckled. "We call it the Spaceport Operations Center. It has the Spaceport's Mission Control Center and some offices and meeting rooms in it." "It has something else you will want to see, class," said Miss Lovato. "Let's get out of the bus and go inside." "This is the Spaceport's fire department," the tour guide said. "There are several kinds of emergency vehicles in here. Look around and talk to the people who work here." "Look how big this fire truck is!" Miguel was standing next to one of its tires, and it was as tall as he was. Michelle walked up to the lady who was wearing a uniform. "What do you do here?" "We protect people," the lady answered. "There is no other fire department or emergency medical team less than an hour away from here. If there's an accident or fire here in the spaceport or on a road or ranch near here, we can get there fast and help." Miss Lovato waved her hands towards the door. "Let's go outside." Now Michelle could see the terminal and hangar building from the side. It's so low on the side we saw before, but the other side is really tall. It's like the head of a snake that's crawling up out of a hole, and it has a mouth wide open. Miguel acted like he was about to strike like a rattlesnake. The building has to be big, the tour guide explained. It has training facilities inside for the people who will be flying up into space, and it has a mission control room for the Virgin Galactic Company's flights. It also has room to park the spaceship and work on them. Back on the bus, class, Miss Lovato called. We're going to see the runway. After a short drive, the children got out to look around. Wow, it looks like the runway goes on forever, Michelle said. It is more than 2 miles long, the tour guide replied. It has to be long for the spaceships to take off and land safely. Wouldn't it be awesome to be able to stand here and have a spaceship take off right over me, Miguel imagined. Zoom! You said rockets can take off here, Miguel said to the tour guide. I thought rockets blasted off straight up, not taking off on a runway. That's right. The spaceport has a vertical takeoff area too. It's about 5 miles southeast of here. What kind of things do the rockets take to space? Michelle asked. Usually 2 kinds of things, the tour guide answered. Some are parts for satellites or other spaceships that the government or a company wants to test before they actually use them. Others are experiments designed and built by students so they can learn about the atmosphere or cosmic radiation and also learn about flying experiments on rockets. Could I send my Batman action figure for a ride? Miguel asked. The tour guide chuckled. Maybe, but you would have to pay for it. Another short ride on the bus took the class to the east side of the terminal and hangar building with its curved 3-story high glass wall. Miguel and Michelle watched their reflections in the glass as they walked across the front of the building. The curved glass made the reflections wavy. This is a pretty cool place, Michelle said. Yeah, Miguel agreed. When I grow up, I'm going to work here and fly spaceships. Michelle looked up at the clear blue sky and said, Me too. We can take turns. And that is the end of the book, Miguel and Michelle Visit Spaceport America. If you're interested in coming out to Spaceport America, you can go to our website, spaceportamerica.com/visit, or you can organise a virtual tour of the spaceport by going to our website again, spaceportamerica.com/education. And we look forward to welcoming you to Spaceport America soon.